Hey everybody, Tacoma Prepper here, aka Eric Rosenblatt. In uncertain times, it's important to be prepared for whatever might come your way. And my favorite method of preparedness is to put together a kit designed for a particular type of situation. This is a little bit experimental, kind of a new thing. We'll see how it goes. So given current events and possibilities, I put together this particular kit, which I will show you. The Nuclear Incident Response Kit. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? First thing you're going to want is a trusty old AK. Just kidding. But it couldn't hurt. So, alright, let's go into this kit that I put together. Now, this is by no means an exhaustive kit. Of course, I kind of try to keep things low budget as much as possible. And maybe there's a few things that I could change or add, and I probably will over time. But these are the things that I haphazardly and very rapidly put together. So, first and foremost is a radio. This is a C Crane shortwave capable radio. Does like all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. Multi-power source. It's inputs and stuff on the back. Runs on I think C batteries and AA batteries, and is rechargeable. Very, very cool. But that's a little bit of overkill for most people. You can get away with something small, like this little guy. Pretty much the same thing, just a little cheaper, but has a dynamo on it, so you can generate electricity, which is kind of cool. The important thing with a radio, and why you want one in a nuclear incident, is to keep tabs on what's going on. Communications could possibly be completely shut down or flaky or something like that, and radios are pretty reliable in those kinds of situations. So you're going to want at least something. And let's see. Next, got a flashlight with a battery. Most people have flashlights on them in the form of their phone, but you got to charge those, so how are you going to do that? This is a good backup, old school, not that old school, it's LED, but it has a big old 6-volt cell that comes with it that's attached to it, and it floats, it's waterproof. Pretty good thing to have. So, let's see here. Okay, maybe I went a little overboard with this, hang on a sec. Speaking of radios, CB radios. Handheld CB radios. Yeah, these run on a ton of batteries, but they're very reliable, and there's CB radios everywhere. So, good for point-to-point communications, very budget-friendly. You can find these dirt cheap all over the place, and they have a pretty good range. A lot more than those FRS radios that you'll find. I would recommend CB radios. I have multiples because I figure, if there's some kind of incident and there's a bunch of people and we all want to communicate one team to another, everybody needs their own radio, and I don't think most people are going to come with their own handheld CB radio. So that's why I got these guys. And let's see. Well, speaking of batteries, because they chew through the batteries, I have a big old pack of batteries, AA's. So there's 60 here. That's quite a few. That should keep things going for a little while at least. There's a lot of battery-powered things in here. I don't really like rechargeable stuff, although I do have the means to do it. I think it's kind of nice to have quick and dirty, simple, basic solutions like this, because, even in a grid-down scenario, you're probably going to be able to find AA batteries just about anywhere. So there's that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Chloroflock water purification tablets. These are the military ones. Really, really love these. Kind of hard to find nowadays, but some kind of water purification, definitely good. Good to have. I mean, not just for nuclear situations, but for any survival situation. You got to have water purification or filtration. So there's that. Then let's see. Oh, why don't we get into some tech? Okay. All right. First off, we got an old Soviet era. Well, this is probably like just post-Soviet Geiger counter, a tube Geiger counter, so it works really, really well. Very cheap, runs on 2 AA batteries for a really, really long time, but it works. And, you know, you can't beat that. Then I have a slightly more advanced version with a color screen and does like data logging and quite a bit more stuff than that, but it actually doesn't have quite the sensitivity of the Soviet one. So that's why I have 2 different ones, because they serve different purposes. And then I have the Radiocode 102. This is a very advanced device. This also does data logging, but it does a whole lot more. In fact, using this and coupled with other devices and software, you can actually identify the particular isotope that you're dealing with. But it also acts as a dosimeter and a standard kind of Geiger counter too. So this is rechargeable. These 2 run on AA batteries. So pick your poison in that regard. All right, moving on. Let's see. Okay, well, let's get into this. First off, I got 2 bottles of 60 tablets of potassium iodate. So got that stuff. That's really good to flood your thyroid with iodine. So the radioactive iodine that tends to be a product of nuclear exchange that doesn't get absorbed into your body. So you're going to want to have some of this. Also, I have some Prussian blue. This is actually a pigment, but it's also sort of a medication. Good for thallium and cesium decontamination. Just kind of a companion to these 2 things. Good thing to have. You're going to want to have something like that. Oh boy, I'm starting to stack things up here. Time for a little beer. All right. Oh, I guess you probably want a little bit of beer too, because, well, you're going to be sitting around for weeks if there is a nuclear exchange. All right. Next, I have just a few things like hygiene stuff, toilet paper, paper towels, some rags, some hand sanitizer, that kind of thing. Just a little bit of extra. I mean, I have a lot of this stuff anyway, but I have it in this kit. Let's see. Next, your basic nitrile gloves. Just for handling things, keeping it off your skin. Very easy to discard after you've touched stuff outside or whatever. Yeah, it'll hopefully help. And I mean, if you need for bigger jobs, I've got a pack of dish gloves. These are a little thicker, less prone to puncturing and stuff like that. Dirt cheap, but they'll do something to help protect you against some of the fallout, if there is that. Well, and then also I've got some of these painting coveralls, just little Tyvek suit kind of things. Probably not ideal, but better than nothing. Better than just wearing your regular everyday clothes. I have a few of those in here, but I'm not going to dig them all out. Let's see. Then a couple of trash bags, of course. That's always useful. Let's see. And that is the spigot for one of my water tanks. Doesn't really need to be in there, but I guess I put it in there anyway. A little bit of paracord. Always good for tying things down because you never know what you're going to need to tie down. Speaking of that, a bunch of these plastic drop cloths. I have quite a few of those. The idea being you would cover things up, like basically encapsulate your house with this so that none of the radioactive dust and stuff can get in. Obviously, you need a little bit of time to do that, and it can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. But there is that. There's, oh god, I don't know how much there is, but 9 by 12. I've got 2 of those. 4 more, about 6 more 9 by 12. So you know that's about 3 by 3.5 meters each. So that I could probably cover the house with that. Now, how are you going to cover the house and get it to stick? Well, I've got some of the blue tape, of course. And if I can move this out of the way, I got 6 rolls of packing tape too. So you could tape all this stuff to your house or wherever you're living and seal yourself off from the outside world temporarily. And I've got a painter's respirator. Actually, I have a full face one as well, but it's not in the box. But something like that, if you had to go outside, that'll keep you from breathing stuff in. Maybe. It's better than nothing. And I've got a tarp here, so that's a pretty good sized tarp. Actually, in the backyard, I have 2 tarps that can completely cover the entire roof of the house. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much it. So all this stuff, this is kind of like just extra on top of the normal prepping kits and supplies that I have. Just basically, hey, this is the stuff that I wouldn't necessarily use on a day-to-day basis, but it'd be nice to have all this into one box in the event of some kind of nuclear incident. I'm really curious what other people would add to a kit. I mean, you know, the thing is, again, this is a budget-friendly sort of setup. I'm not trying to spend thousands of dollars putting together a whole bunch of advanced gear. Just basically be kind of ready. Something that pretty much everybody could afford. I mean, you don't have to go getting a radio code 102, but you know, you can buy yourself an old Soviet-era Geiger counter, a flashlight, some batteries, some coveralls from Home Depot, and the drop cloths and whatnot. Just, you know, kind of be ready, because you never know what can happen. So yeah, I guess that'll do her. Yeah, so tell me what you think. Stay safe out there, and let's hope nothing like this is actually ever needed. That would be stupid, but if it is, at least you're ready. Almost forgot to mention, I also have sort of a bit of a checklist here. Just some steps to keep in mind if something like this ever does happen. Sorry if it's a little loud. I'm right behind the camera, but you know, it is what it is. So take care out there, everybody.